Today from New Jersey, it's the SNL Nerds, a show where two comics from New Jersey nerd out about Saturday Night Live. I'm your co-host, John Trumbull.
And I'm your co-host too. I'm Darren.
So, yeah, we're doing this thing.
Yeah, I guess we're kind of, giving a peek behind the curtain about how we feel about this episode right off the bat.
It's
Yeah.
This is as you said on Twitter. This is a thing that was on TV.
It was televised. It was also live streaming globally on YouTube, which is the first time SNL has ever done that.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's a bit of a milestone for the show in that way. If you didn't read the description before you started listening, we're talking about the Elon Musk Miley Cyrus episode from May 8th, 2021, season 46, episode 18.
Yeah, this was a big episode. Because of the guest host, and honestly, yeah, this is probably like one of the most controversial guest hosts the show has had in a while. It was all over the Twitter sphere. It was trending and buzzing and buzz feeding and whatever buzzwords people are using these days. It was a big one. I mean, just because it's Elon Musk is a super crazy rich billionaire. A lot of people are like, including us, why is he hosting? He's not a performer. He doesn't work in the field of entertainment in any capacity. And I think like we said before,
and he's had some horrible hot takes on things.
He has
anti-union, the COVID denying,
Yeah, he has had those things, hasn't he? And I think we said before I said before SNL has had guest hosts who aren't in their entertainment field, and that's fine. They've done okay, but usually those people are a little bit more charismatic and they have, personable, and they have a little energy and charisma and charm to win over the audience. And Elon Musk does not have that.
Yeah, not so much.
So why is he hosting? And the only thing I could think of it's another tweet I put out, is that Elon Musk walked up to Lauren and said, "Hey, have me host Saturday Night Live, and I'll save you a seat on the rocket ship with the other billionaires. So we'll, when we escape this planet Earth, when this planet becomes uninhabitable." And that's the most plausible scenario I can think of.
It seems plausible. Yes.
So Elon Musk got to host this episode, and Lauren now has a penthouse on Mars coming up for him. It's the only thing that makes sense, John.
True. So yeah. Well, before we wade into the show, we should just chat a little bit. We actually got together. We actually got together and had lunch on Friday.
We did. The dynamic duo that is us. We saw each other like face to face, a couple of silver spoons
for more than 5 minutes.
It was crazy.
Yeah, so that was cool.
I was like almost like, I almost forgot how to do this.
Yeah, we saw each other's faces.
Yeah, sans Musk. It was crazy
because we were like eating and stuff.
Yeah, it was bonkers. This is probably the first you're hearing about it. I'm surprised. The paparazzi, we weren't sworn by them, and because we're a big deals, of course.
Sure.
In the SNL podcast world. But yeah, dude, it was so good to see you again. I was like, hey,
it was fun. It was fun. I'm glad we did that. We should, make a point of doing that a little more often.
Darn tootin', I miss us.
Yes,
I miss us, and it was a beautiful thing. And this upcoming Saturday, I am going to get my second COVID shot or vaccine. I should say. I'm not getting injected with COVID. I'm getting my second vaccine shot. So next episode I'll be a totally vaxxed man.
Yeah.
Cause every girl's crazy about a full vaxxed man. Vaccine, my arm. Okay, I'm sorry.
So yeah.
So dude, I'm not quite sure what to expect, like how I'll feel afterwards, because I know it affects people differently. Some people said they felt fine, other people were down for the count for days. So we'll see. We'll see how either fine or incredibly sleepy and achy I am on the next episode.
Yeah, yeah, that'll be fun. We'll get to experience your all your symptoms and after effects in real time.
That's right. Place your bets now, people. That was fun. And of course, we're recording this on Mother's Day, so just a quick little happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you to all the moms for all the things that you do, all the mom things, and all the non-mom things too.
Yeah, sometimes you do dad things, but those are mom things too. So just God bless all the mothers out there. You make this crazy world go around.
Yeah. So, um,
So is there anything else you want to talk about other than this episode?
like every other thing in the world, but I mean, this is the Faustian bargain that we made when we decided to do an SNL podcast. I mean, I desperately want to just shit can this whole episode and talk about anything else.
I saw a couple episodes of that damn Michael Che. Those were good.
I haven't gotten to check that out yet. How'd you like it?
I did. I've only seen the first 2 episodes so far, but yeah, so far so good. It's kind of, it reminds me of Chappelle's Show a little bit. It's
Okay.
a lot of sketches that's kind of woven together with one big theme throughout. It kind of gives a little insight into who Michael Che is and like what he's gone through and whatnot. Yeah. So far so good. I dig it so far.
Cool. Okay, I look forward to checking it out.
Oh, and also another thing I've seen, because we're trying to, prolong
delay the inevitable.
Yeah, exactly. Yesterday I ended up watching the Kristen Wiig, Amy Mumolo movie, Barb and Star Go to Vista Del Mar.
How is that?
It's actually funnier than I thought it'd be.
Well, that's good. That's a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, because I mean, when I saw ads for it, the advertising department didn't really do it justice. The ads for it looked kind of like, I don't know, what is this about? And then
you sent the trailer to me, and you were like, "Do you want to do this for the show?" And I was like, "This trailer looks awful to me, so no, I think I would not like this."
And then we talked about how they made that appearance on the Golden Globes Award, and that just further solidified not wanting to see it.
Yeah,
because that was rough.
So why'd you end up watching it?
I was still kind of curious about it, and I was like, "Well, this." I mean, I don't know. They're the same people that wrote Bridesmaids, and I like Bridesmaids, so let's dive into this. So, and I watched it, and I enjoyed it. It's not like Bridesmaids at all. It's more, the humor is more like absurd, silly. Like I would compare it. Like a lot of times, it kind of reminded me of maybe Austin Powers or Zoolander, or even like Anchorman. Like it has that type of feel to it, where it's just like absurd nonsense kind of happening throughout, but like it does have some heart to it, and I got a kick out of it. I will.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's more like, if you're, I don't know, it was more enjoyable than I thought it'd be, and Kristen Wiig and Amy Mumolo, or Mumolo, they do a good, or Annie Mumolo, sorry, they do a good job of sort of balancing their characters, because I think they know like a little too much of their characters is a lot, like their high pitched voices and whatnot. So they when you have a real extreme character, a little goes a long way. Right. So they do dial it back a few places here and there, but yeah, for the most part, I did enjoy it. It's a nice, it was a nice, fun, silly comedy. I dug it.
Cool. All right.
So any final words before we do this?
Let's get through this. Let's I mean, you know what? Once this episode is behind us, we will not have to talk of this again.
Yes.
Let's see. I'm looking at my first note from last night. My first note reads: "Is it wrong that I'm hoping the Chinese rocket lands on 30 Rock?" So that'll give you a good feel for my level of anticipation for this episode.
Wow.
Wow.
Cold open.
We had Miley Cyrus singing a song for Mother's Day. It was a song from Dolly Parton. What's the name of that song? I had it here somewhere.
Dolly Parton.
Hang on. It's Light of Clear Blue Morning. Yeah. And apparently Dolly Parton is actually Miley Cyrus's godmother, which I had no idea of.
I think I knew that, but like when I heard her say it, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." It
Yeah.
reminded me.
So
Um,
she was singing that, and that was interspersed with the cast members welcoming their mothers as they usually do on Mother's Day. That's a nice tradition, I think.
yeah, it is. Like, I mean, this cold open, I can't hate on it. You'd have to be a real monster too. But yeah, it is very sweet. I mean, especially since all we've gone through and people have been separated from their parents and their moms. It is very lovely to see, each cast member come out with their mothers and share some
Hmm.
lovely words. I think at one point Cecily Strong had her mom out,
Yeah,
and she said like, "Oh, I'm so happy to see you," and the mom was like, "All right, Cecily, it's time to say the joke, that's on the cue card," and
yeah,
Cecily was like, "I can't," and she was like so happy to see her. It was like a very
yeah.
sweet
That
moment.
was that was cute, and it's also kind of fun to see like what everybody's moms looks like and how close they look to their offspring. Like, I mean, Adie Bryant, her and her mom have the exact same smile. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that they were like eerily like similar in look.
Yeah, two peas in a pod. Then, I didn't like the Miley Cyrus song. I still just do not like her voice.
It's an acquired taste. I will
I,
admit.
I, I just do not think she is a good singer.
It's like a kind of nasally, smoky,
Yeah,
raspy type of
very
voice.
nasally. It just irks me.
No, I'm with you there. I mean, she sings fine, but I know like that she has her diehard fans, and people are like, oh, like it's weird. I've gotten from friends of mine who I respect as far as like their taste in music say
Hmm.
like, no, Miley Cyrus is amazing. She's really good. Like, no, her cover of such and such and so so is really good. And I've listened to it and I'm like, it's all right. Why is everybody sweating?
Yeah,
These
I
stuff?
just do not get the Miley Cyrus love.
Yeah,
She just does not work for me. I've given her a try. She is just not for me, man.
yeah. It's a quiet
Um,
taste. Yeah, it's
yeah.
fine. But yeah, as far as cold opens go, I thought this was okay. It's very much each cast member brings out their mom. They say a few jokes written on the cue cards.
Hmm.
I liked at one point how Heidi brought out her mom, and they were doing their little banter. And
Hmm.
then Heidi says, "And they didn't write a joke for me." Oh, great! Like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
thought that was real for a minute. I was like, "What? Did they
yeah.
not? Did they forget about Heidi altogether?"
I liked that they had Lauren Holt and Punky Johnson double up in a two shot with their moms. It was just like, oh, you two are just featured players, so you can't be in a single shot with your mother's head.
Yeah.
Um, it just, that was just a funny indicator of like what their status is on the cast
Like,
right now.
yeah, you guys double up. You share like roommates.
Yeah,
Like you're sharing an apartment.
you don't rate yet. I also enjoyed that this did not feature Elon Musk.
Yes, this is like the only thing throughout the show that didn't feature Elon Musk. And that's another thing that kind of caught me off guard too, where I think we probably mentioned it on an earlier show where we're like, well, because Elon Musk isn't a performer, maybe they'll just have him in a few sketches here and there, and they'll have like a
Mhm.
lot of sketches with just the cast. Not only did they not do that, it seems like they doubled up and had him in even more throughout the show. Like he was in every sketch, every pre-tape, and on Weekend Update. I was like, why are we getting so much Musk?
It was a lot of Musk. It
Too
was a
much
lot of
Musk.
Musk.
Too much
Um,
Musk.
yeah.
Too much.
So next we have the monologue with Elon Musk. He comes out and yeah. I mean, as expected, he's rather stiff because he's not a performer. He was very very awkward. Kind of like uh, uh,
Like us.
well, not like us, like us, but more so. The Facebook CEO guy, I'm blanking on his name.
Oh, Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg. Like, remember when Mark Zuckerberg made a cameo on the show, and even by non-actor standards, he was bad.
Yeah, exactly. And this was just that. Like you get to see immediately that he's not a performer in any way. His
Hmm.
I don't know, it's something about like maybe his cadence or the way
He
he
has an
talks.
odd cadence, an odd way of speaking. It's almost like an accent, but not quite. And yeah,
Yeah, I mean I think well he is from South Africa, so maybe that's it a little
hmm
bit. I know
yeah,
he grew up in South Africa and then I think he spent like a good amount of time in Canada, so maybe
Uh-huh.
it's that South African Canadian accent. And also,
Yeah.
he always has like a weird kind of smirk on his face too. Like I don't know if that's like
He gives off this real smug vibe, yeah,
I don't know if that's just his
which
resting.
is rather off-putting.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just his how his face looks, how his resting face looks every day. But
Yeah.
still, it don't help when you have that personality, that cadence to your voice, and that face. And
Yeah.
I think the writers kind of knew that, so that's why they were really trying to kind of make him more endearing and likable. Like they were saying, "Oh, hey, I have Asperger's. Oh, I'm just trying to make the world better, man. I'm just trying to
Yeah.
get us to Mars. And oh, hey, here's my mom. Isn't she nice? I
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
like it's weird when they try to make like billionaires kind of more
They're
likable
just
and
like us.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I don't know. Part of me maybe I've just been watching too many comic book movies, but whenever they do something like that, it's like I kind of have pause. It's like it kind of reminds me of like when Kingpin was talking to the press in that one episode of Daredevil, trying to be
Mhm.
relatable to the people. It's like, hey, I had it rough. I'm Kingpin. I grew up with a abusive father. Blah blah blah. And then suddenly people were like, hey, Kingpin's not so bad. Kingpin, like
Yeah.
it kind of reminded me of that. I don't know if maybe it's just me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was some self deprecation there. You know, he said like I'm the first person with Asperger's to host SNL, or at least the first to admit it. I had no idea he had Asperger's, and I
I
was like, oh, okay, well that makes a certain amount of sense.
Yeah,
Although Dan Aykroyd recently revealed that he has Asperger's, so
right. So that's yeah. So I guess technically, because he did host in '03, so technically he's
yeah,
the,
yeah,
but he didn't admit it as uh, Elon
not
Musk.
yeah, not on the show, and
Aha.
Chris Rock also has admitted that he's on the spectrum. He's been tested
Oh, really?
and all that.
I
So
didn't know
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh shit, I didn't
So
know. Hmm.
there is some precedent for that.
A stand-up comedian with okay on the spectrum.
Who's awkward and has trouble relating to people? Yeah, that never happens.
Well, yeah, that's a unicorn.
um,
Yeah, this cold open, it was I mean, no monologue, not cold open. Cold open, I thought
mhm.
was a cold open. I thought was sweet because it's everybody's mom, so I can't hate on it.
Yeah,
This monologue was it's very it felt very awkward.
yeah, it was awkward. I mean, I was expecting it to be awkward. There were a couple lines like he said, I'm pretty good at running human in emulation mode." And it said, I reinvented electric cars and I'm sending people up to Mars in a rocket ship. Did you think I was going to be a chill, normal dude? Those were okay. That OJ Simpson joke, though, I was
Yeah,
just like,
what the fuck was
woof.
that? What was that?
Yeah,
It's 2021. We're still doing OJ jokes.
uh, that was just weird. And I just I found that in bad taste. I mean,
Uh,
yeah, OJ did host the show back in '78, apparently not '79.
yeah,
He did not host in 1996. He was up to other things in 1996.
yeah. He was had a busy year.
Um,
I mean, is that just he just was that just him throwing out OJ for all the people who thought that he would be the worst host ever in SNL? And he's like, "Oh no, OJ hosted, so I'm not. I didn't murder anybody that you know
I don't know. If you had to go to like, hey, at least I'm not somebody who did a double homicide.
of."
It feels like you've already lost that argument when that's the comparison you have to make.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, like OJ Simpson, it's like, what the?
Yeah.
Woo!
So, not the greatest monologue. He brought his mom out too.
Yeah,
That was sweet, I guess.
she's also not a performer.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
That was fine. He was trying to humanize himself a bit, I suppose, and
yeah, it's yeah.
yeah. So I will leave it to people's individual perceptions if he succeeded in that or not. Um,
Uh, but I think you guys know where we stand on that. It was. Mm.
it was a thing that existed.
And speaking of things that existed, Gen Z Hospital. Guys, I mean this with all sincerity, no hyperbole. This was one of the worst sketches SNL has ever done.
This was dire. This was.
This was
I mean, it was a bunch of the cast members. They're in a hospital waiting room. They're in multicolored wigs and stuff, and they're just doing all these Gen Z catchphrases. They're like, "Hey, is Bestie going to be okay?" And and then and Elon Musk comes out as the doctor in this fake beard, and he's using Gen Z slang.
yeah. I mean, that's real. It's the all right. I get that this is like a very simple premise for a sketch. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, it's like General Hospital, but it's Gen Z Hospital, and everybody in the
Hmm.
hospital is Gen Z, and Mikey Day is waiting to see how his mom is because she's in the hospital. And then it's literally just everyone talking in Gen Z speak. You know, like I stand you. That's really iconic, and
Yeah.
it's literally just a barrage of Gen Z lingo. And the sketch, and that's it. The sketch doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't escalate. There's no twist. It's just a bunch of Gen Z lingo in this sketch, and it drags. It really drags.
I just could not help but keep thinking, like, of all the sketches that must have been written over the course of the week, this is what they decided to lead off the show with.
This is the first sketch of the night.
I was just like, oh. So, I mean, any hopes I had were really just kind of evaporating at this point.
Yeah, and this sketch was written by Michael Che and Gary Richardson, and they're good. So I don't know. I mean, this was I don't know. This was probably just like a maybe like a rejected sketch they just wrote on the fly, or this
I
sketch.
don't know, man.
This sketch was like something that like a brand new improv group would do like in their first year.
Yeah,
Like it was really like elementary shit.
it was.
And like I mean, like I said, like it's you can have a sketch where it's a very simple premise, and that's fine. But usually, when the premise is super simple, then it's up to the cast to like elevate it and make it better or do something with it. And the cast really didn't seem that into it. Like it seemed like everybody was just kind of rushing through it just to get it over with.
Yeah,
And so when you have that, and then you have Elon Musk, who's not a performer, who was kind of trying, but again, he's
yeah.
not a performer, so him trying isn't that great. And like it's
It was
just
awkward.
it's a sketch where no one's doing any of the heavy lifting. Really, it's just like the writing isn't there, the acting isn't there. It drags, and it's just I was just like, my God, this is
So it sounds like you really liked it.
yeah, 2 thumbs up, way up. But yeah, this I think I just wrote ugh because this
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. I just wrote, "Holy fuck! This is what they decided to lead off with in all caps."
yeah like
I was just pretty horrified by this sketch. This
yeah
it's bad.
yeah this is just an embarrassment. I mean I'm sorry to say this sketch was like you just
Yeah,
you I really don't understand how anybody could like this sketch because it's really it's objectively bad.
yeah, and and it's just kind of insulting and stereotypical to Gen Zers out there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
was this for Gen Z? Did guys, if you're a Gen Zer and you like this sketch, let me know. Did it
Yeah,
connect?
did you get a kick out of this? Does this?
Did you stand it?
I don't know.
Uh,
Okay.
Whew, all right, yeah, this is gonna be
We actually had a pre-tape. Every conversation you've had with people you haven't seen since quarantine started. It's just basically people at a party having awkward conversations after more than a year under quarantine with people they haven't seen in a long, long time.
right. And they have the conversations, and then you see the inner dialogue about what they're really thinking. Where like you'll see Beck and Kate talk, be like, "Hey, I haven't seen you in forever. How you been? How's your quarantine?" Then you hear Beck say in his mind, I don't know who this person is. Who are you?"
Right.
And I don't know. It kind of reminded me of a not as good version of the Joe Montana sketch with the honest guy, where you hear
It didn't really remind me of that, but I guess I can see that comparison.
their inner monologue, you know,
Hmm.
and yeah, and that's pretty. Again, it's another sketch where the premise is super simple, super thin, so it's kind of up to the the cast members to elevate it. But I don't know. I guess they tried in this one, but nowhere really to go with this. Like they don't do anything new. There's no real twists. It doesn't elevate or go anywhere. It's just like people talking and thinking to themselves, I don't know who this person is. Oh, I'm so awkward. And at one point we have Chris Red talk to Ego, and Chris Red is hitting on Ego, and Ego's like, oh, this guy does know he's my cousin, right?
Yeah. He's kind of hitting on her, not realizing that she's his cousin, or not. He can't remember for sure if she's his cousin or not. Um, we had Beck talking to Kate, saying like, "Oh yeah, now I'm going to be extra cautious," and then he immediately like wipes his nose and then puts his hand in the bowl of mixed nuts.
Ha!
Of course, horrifying. Um, I thought this was all right. I didn't mind this.
Yeah, I think. I
I
mean,
thought it was fine.
after Gen Z, yeah, this one
Yeah.
was okay, but it's again, it didn't really go anywhere. And,
In any other show, I would have liked this fine. Yeah, this was all right. This I didn't find it objectionable. It wasn't heinous. It was all right.
okay. Next up, we got the Uli show.
Mhm.
It's an Icelandic character that Chloe Feynman actually debuted a few months ago in a sketch for the during the SNL at Homes. There was a She did that commercial for the Airbnb with a woman who was living with the person from Iceland who was
Yeah,
Uli. So now the Uli character has her own television show in Iceland. It's
yeah. On Icelandic public television, because she's Iceland's number one social media star. Um, she's famous because she had a tit pop out at Prince Andrew's funeral, and she says, "Luckily, it was my good tit." So, and then like a few months later, she has her own show.
that's how showbiz works, kids.
Hmm.
Uh,
This and so we have Chloe as her Uli character, Mikey Day as like her sidekick guy.
right. A lot of people were saying we're comparing this to the old Mike Myers sketch Sprockets. It kind of does have some Sprockets vibes to it.
Honestly, I thought this felt like something that Fred Armisen and Maya Rudolph would have done back in the day.
Interesting.
Like they seem to do like a lot of those kind of weird hipster things. Um, I can't remember the names of the characters, but they had odd, unpronounceable names, and
Okay.
so it sort of reminded me of their sort of thing. We had Elon Musk as her producer Ragnarok. I was amused by that
Ha!
name, and he's declaring his love for Uli. And we find out over the course of the sketch that he's her cousin.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
so we have two sketches in a row with people wanting to fuck their cousins. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, like somebody in that writer's room definitely has some issues.
But I read on like the YouTube comments for this sketch. Apparently, that is a problem in Iceland because like the population's so small that lots of people are related to each other. So they actually do have an app to see if you are actually cousins with somebody.
Oh Lord, really?
Yeah, apparently, well, according to this YouTube comment. So
Oh, I did not know
I,
that.
I did not research it further than that, but I was like, oh, okay, well, apparently that's a thing.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess you could make the argument, and it works there. But still, the conversation post quarantine, they still had to put in like a cousin humping joke. Still, that was like,
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird theme to run through a show.
yeah. The theme for this Mother's Day show, cousin fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I was just like, oh, okay. It's weird that we put that into two sketches. Is one of the writers working through something? I don't know.
It seems like that. Somebody should really take that writer's side and be like, "Hey, dude, are you all right, man? Are you...
Is everything okay at home?
I'm not welcome back home."
Yeah. What's going on there? So the guests on this talk show, we had Kate McKinnon as Frances McDormand, who says she's there to buy more gray sack dresses. A pretty good Frances McDormand impression, I thought.
Yeah, not bad. It's all right.
Yeah.
Uh,
Um,
Pete Davidson did a Steve Buscemi,
yeah.
who he worked with in King of Staten Island. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
that was all right, I guess. And
That was interesting to see. It's interesting to see Pete kind of spread his wings a bit more.
yeah. And we have Melissa Villasenor doing a pretty solid Bjork impression.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm happy to see her get on any impressions because she's really good. Did you ever actually? Side note, listeners, if you haven't seen her, Melissa Villasenor, do her hosting thing at the Independent Spirit Awards,
Mhm.
I would recommend you check the clips on YouTube because she does some really good spot on impressions that really make me wish that they would incorporate them in SNL more. Like, there was one sketch where it's Melissa Villasenor kind of Zoom chatting past hosts to get advice on how to host the Independent Spirit Awards, and we see Melissa do an impression of John Mulaney, which she has done on SNL.
Mm-hmm.
We see her Sarah Silverman, which is really good. That needs to be on SNL more. And she has a Kate McKinnon impression that's pretty damn solid.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I'd like to see those.
Yeah, like guys, go on YouTube and watch that Kate McKinnon, Melissa Villasenor impression. Like you see, it's like, oh, that's really solid. Why isn't that on SNL more? Because it's really good. But I don't know, for some reason it's just ain't on there. On
Okay.
SNL. And also check out her Kristen Wiig impression. She actually does a pretty good Kristen Wiig impression. And she actually kind of went viral a little bit because she was on Seth Meyers' show promoting the Independent Spirit Awards, and she went into her Kristen Wiig, and Seth was like unnerved.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see that when she guest starred on Late Night with Seth Meyers.
Yeah, like Seth was like unnerved by how good it was. You can see.
Yeah.
And she also does like a really good Anna Navarro and Natalie Portman impression too, which are all really solid.
And also her mother.
And her mother. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Cold Open. Going back to that.
She did an impression of her own mother.
I know. So it's like, God, she does all this shit, and you can't figure out how to put it in on the show on SNL. Like,
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. So Uli, watch Melissa Villasenor's YouTube clips. That's my review of the Uli sketch.
Yeah. This felt like, one, they had a really tough time integrating Elon into it. He seemed kind of extraneous to the sketch.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was saying, like, why have him in the sketch if they're like forcing him in? And so why don't just not have him in it, cut the fat, and then like
Well,
kind of
I
make
mean, you want to include the host in the sketches. I get that. I mean, it just seemed like he wasn't really integrated. He was kind of off to the side doing his own thing.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, you don't have to have him in every sketch. I mean, when Dave Chappelle hosted, he wasn't in every sketch. He was in like 2 sketches, and like the rest was just the cast, and it was fine. The sketches were better for it. But I'm salty today. Good Lord, I'm my dander's up. I apologize.
It is. Your dander is up much higher than
I know.
normally.
I'm on fire tonight. I'm like I'm flame on.
Okay, so next we had a pre-taped sketch called Murder Dirter, with Kate McKinnon as a grizzled lady detective with a very specific accent. Premise of this was just we've had murders in other cities like New York, Chicago, and Boston, and now we have a murder in a city in Pennsylvania with very specific whites.
Exactly. So this is basically a spoof of the show Mayor of Easttown, which I haven't seen yet, but I hear a lot of people love it. It's like a very, like you said, specific accent. So because I guess the show takes place in Pennsylvania, probably outside of Philly or something like that. And the Pennsylvanians, they do have that speech way of speaking, like people in Boston have Pak the cat and Harvard Yad. Pennsylvanians apparently talk like murder and dirt. Where's my dirter? Yeah. She got murdered in the water. I mean, I haven't been to Pennsylvania that many times to catch that, but I guess it is a thing.
This was kind of like defining the Pennsylvania accent in the same way that the movie Fargo defined like the Minnesota accent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you betcha.
Like nobody had really pegged what the accent was beforehand, but yeah. Again, this was okay. I thought this was fine. I think the cast was having fun with it. I was really impressed with the production values on it.
Yeah, it was shot really well. It looked just like the Mayor of Easttown show from what I've seen in commercials. Like it was really shot well. It was acted well, and of course, I did get a kick out of one visual gag where the detectives were looking at the board of suspects, and then you see pictures of Rocky Balboa, Questlove, and Tina Fey.
Yeah. I was very amused by the Tina Fey thing in particular.
Yeah. So it's basically just like them going through a lot of Pennsylvania, Philly, tropes like Gritty, the mascot from the Philadelphia Flyers running through the woods, the Philly Fanatic, Wawa Hoagies, and all things Philly. was kind of sprinkled throughout this thing.
Yeah, this was fine. I think this was probably the best thing they had in the show.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. And just because just saying, where's my daughter? She got murdered down by the water. Like I don't know, just babble nonsense words. Kind of,
Yeah.
it does amuse me a little bit. I will admit that
Uh huh.
because
Uh huh.
sometimes I'm a child. What can I say?
Yep.
My daughter got murdered by the water.
Uh,
Ha ha. Words are fun.
so it was cute. Didn't go on too long either. So
Yeah,
that's always nice.
that helped too. And Elon Musk was in it, but like just at the very tail end, and his part was
Yeah.
kind of short. So like, the less Elon Musk, the better. That's what I say.
Yes. Yes. So next we had our musical guest for the episode. We had Miley Cyrus singing "Without You" with Kid Laroi.
Yeah, and later on she did another song,
Plastic Hearts.
Plastic Hearts. I had to look up the Kid Laroi because I literally have never heard of him until today. Apparently, he's like some 17-year-old rapper, producer, singer from Australia, and like it seems like he's kind of tearing up the charts, as it were. He's done like mixtapes, and he's done like a lot of production work and collabs, as the kids say out here in these streets, with like a bunch of other artists. So I guess he's on the come up. He's like the hot new thing. And yeah, both performances I thought were all right. Nothing to really write home about.
I would disagree.
Ooh, all right. And it was worse than all right.
Yeah, very much so, by several orders of magnitude.
Oh wow, I was being nice. All right.
Like I said, I do not like her voice. My note on the first number was, "Holy fuck, this is horrible. Make them stop."
Wow.
And my note on the second number was, "I hate her fucking nasal voice." So
I will admit her voice is very, like I said earlier, it's an acquired taste. It's like it's not for everybody, but a lot of people seem to like it, and I'm a little baffled.
And those people are wrong.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like people who really love, I don't want to say Bob Dylan, but like somebody like a singer who has like a very weird, maybe off-putting voice that a lot of people like, but it's still a lot of people are just like, why do you like, that voice or what is that about? I didn't take too many notes about this performance. They were both, I thought, serviceable.
Not good.
Will you give me serviceable, or were they serviceable?
No.
Damn.
No, they were horrible. Full stop. They were horrible.
Damn, son.
They were awful. I do not like her. I do not want to see her on the show again.
Okay. Moving on.
I do not like Miley Cyrus.
Woo. All right. All right. Weekend update.
Weekend update. Started out with an update on the Chinese rocket, which apparently crashed in the Indian Ocean just shortly before the show, and they're saying, so that's why Elon is hosting. He needed an alibi. So that was cute.
Yeah, I thought that was okay. Yeah, as far as the jokes go on the weekend update, I thought they were all right. There was one part, you probably caught it too, where Che told a few jokes that I thought it was really interesting the way this went down. So basically, it started off with Michael Che telling this one joke about South Carolina, where apparently now in South Carolina they're adding the firing squad to its execution methods.
Mm-hmm.
And Che said, I think it's nice that now the police are going to execute someone after they're found guilty.
Yeah.
Awkward silence throughout the entire audience. It was like,
yeah, that joke did not go over in a big way.
And then the next joke was him talking about how the police found $1 million worth of meth at a couple's home. And for those that don't know, this is what $1 million worth of meth looks like. It's a shot of the Capitol rioters. Thunderous applause.
Yeah.
They love it. And it's like, wow, Che really kind of went through both ends of the spectrum right there.
Yeah. That was something else.
That was weird. I was like, wow. All right. Ups and downs, like a merry-go-round.
Yep.
So as far as the jokes go for Che and Jost, I thought they were okay. So our first weekend update segment desk piece, we had Ego Nwodum playing Pauline, who's a weary mother in her darkest hour. So yeah, so basically it's she plays like a mom who took her kids to Disneyland, and you probably seen them if ever you've gone to a amusement park. Just a mom who's just like worn down, haggard, exhausted, and just like done with it all. But she does it because she loves her kids.
Yeah. This was all right. I thought it went on too long.
Oh yeah, a little bit. I mean, I will say this. I mean, as far as the night goes, this might have been the most enjoyable thing for me for it.
Hmm.
I mean, I like the Murder Dirter, but like I thought, I'm a big fan of Ego, and she was really trying here in this sketch because I think she maybe I don't know if she knew, but like there was a vibe that everybody was kind of phoning it in a little bit, but she was like really kind of giving it her all in this sketch where it's like talking about how she's exhausted and tired. At one point, it goes into her kids, and she kind of says that the kids are Michael Che's at one point, which I thought was
Hmm.
kind of funny. Her kids called CJ, stands for Che Jr. And Che is like, wait, so they're named Che Jr. Che? It's like, yes.
Yeah,
I don't know. I thought there was some good stuff here. I thought this
that was
was
cute.
okay. Yeah, I thought this
That
was
was
all right.
cute.
Yeah, yeah. So, as always, I love Ego. So, like, I thought this was all right.
Hmm.
Next up, we had another deck segment. Um, the host, Elon Musk, playing Lloyd Ostertag, who is a financial expert for Weekend Update, and he explains cryptocurrency. And
Yeah.
yeah, this really rubbed me the wrong way. Uh,
It's just Che and just asking him over and over. So what is Dogecoin? And then him ultimately admitting, oh yeah, it's a hustle.
yeah, I don't know. It's still part of me felt like this was like a. So I looked up
Like
Doge.
it was promoting it.
Yeah, it did. It felt like an infomercial. It felt like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he was making fun of it, but at the same time, he was kind of promoting it. Like at one point, they kind of he even says, "Oh, you can call me the Doge Father," which I guess is like an online thing. And like,
Hmm.
I mean, Che kind of stepped on his lines for a little bit there, but
Yeah.
Elon Musk says, "Oh, call me the Doge Father," and you hear a few people in the audience be like, "Yeah," because I guess they were waiting for him to
I
say,
I guess there were some Elon Musk bros in the audience.
yeah, some muskrats, as I like to call them. And
Yeah.
like, yeah, they were waiting for him to say that. So I guess, this Dogecoin thing can get more exposure. And so it was, so basically the whole sketch is,
But apparently, like over the course of the show last night, they went way down. They dropped like 30%.
yeah, like I'm not a financial expert. I don't know how money works. I don't know how, I mean, if you've seen me and how I dress, I don't know how money
Hmm.
works or how it happens. But yeah, to see that kind of dip after just mentioning it on the TV on a show like that, I was like, wow, that's interesting.
That was weird.
And I also,
Yeah, I didn't think much of that. I was one thing that really just stuck out to me was during Colin's segment of it. I was amazed by how horribly placed his cue cards were because he had to look off in the opposite direction of where he was speaking to look at the cue cards, and it was really obvious. And I was just like, why didn't they give him the cue cards on the other side so he could be like facing the people he was talking to?
yeah, they make it look natural.
Yeah.
So I also looked it up what Dogecoin was, and according to Wikipedia, it's a cryptocurrency created by software engineers Billy Marcus and Jackson Palmer, who decided to create a payment system that is free from traditional banking fees. Dogecoin features the face of the Shiba Inu dog from the Doge meme as its logo and namesake. It was introduced on December 6th, 2013, and quickly developed its own online community, reaching a market capitalization of 85 billion 341 337 blah 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 on May 5th, 2021. So it sounds like fake money that like
Yeah, that's my understanding of it.
like somebody's make that somehow become like a real thing, like a real life boy.
Hmm.
But yeah, throughout the sketch, yeah, Che keeps.
It sounds like a thing that's just going to crash horribly and leave lots of people with nothing to show for it.
Yep. It's weird because, and I know people have said, "Oh no, I've checked the numbers, I've checked the facts and figures. It's real. It's a real thing." But I'm like, I don't know, dude. This just it it just seems like I said, like something made up out of thin air that they're just giving it some legitimacy and saying it's a
Yeah.
thing. And I don't know, like, and
Yeah.
it's weird. Like people who believe that this is real, but don't think vaccines are real. They want to see the science
Yeah.
on. It's like, dude, you're weird. I don't know about you, man.
Yeah.
And I slowly walk away from them.
Yes. I think that is a good reaction to have.
But yeah, I mean, as far as this segment goes, yeah, it did kind of rub me the wrong way. It felt like an infomercial, like they were trying to sell it, even though they did kind of save it by saying, "Yeah, it's a hustle." It's still, I was still
Yeah.
like, I don't know. It's
Yeah, but he also goes like, "Oh well, it's the future of currency, and it's going to be the new economy." And yeah,
yeah. And our final uh weekend update segment. Uh
we had Kyle Mooney back as Baby Yoda because we just had Star Wars Day, the May the 4th be with you thing.
yeah, but is that
So
is that enough reason to bring him back?
no, no,
Yeah,
it is not. Was anyone clamoring for him to come back as Baby Yoda for the third fucking time?
no one likes this. As far
This was like the third time, right?
this might have been like the fourth or fifth.
Oh, good lord.
He's done it a number of times, but it's
Yeah,
dude, this I mean,
painful,
yeah,
painful.
you like, I mean, well, first of all, the makeup job is very disturbing to look at. Like I've said before, he looks like
And
that.
also, like, he's jacked now. They gave him like muscular arms, which just made him more disturbing to look at.
Yeah, I mean, like I said before, he looks like that woman in the Radiator and in Eraserhead.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like a disturbing look, and so now his gimmick is like he's like this jacked up bro with like a like an OnlyFans page, and he's getting swole. He's getting into MMA, and he wants to beat up Baby Groot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, right, yeah, this is Kyle Mooney's fourth appearance as Grogu. I'm looking up right now, and it's just it goes
Just,
nowhere.
just stop. Just stop, you guys.
Yeah, it doesn't really go anywhere, and it's just like these jokes don't
Yeah,
hit.
yeah. We did not need to see this again.
Yeah, so yeah, this was a thing.
Yeah. So, pretty weak weekend update, I thought overall.
Yeah. Speaking of week and things, we got Wario.
Wario. This had the video game character Luigi from Mario Brothers. He's on trial for the death of his brother Mario, and it has Elon Musk as Wario, the evil Mario, and he's saying he's not evil, he's just misunderstood.
Yeah.
And Mikey Day is playing his defense attorney, and he has several quotes from the Mario wiki. And he's like, these are all real. And I was just like, okay, so, one of the writers was going on the Mario wiki at like 3 a.m. when he was blocked for an idea for a sketch.
Yeah, that's really it.
That's basically what I got out of this one. I was just like, okay, so this is what this writer or writers did when they were completely dry this week.
Yeah. And again, this sketch you could feel, I mean, some of the cast members they're trying to do something with it, but it doesn't go anywhere. We see Elon Musk's real life wife, Grimes, in this sketch as Princess Peach.
Oh, that's who it was. Okay, I
That's
was
who.
like, I don't recognize this person. Who is this?
Yeah, I thought
It's
it was
not Miley.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I don't think that's a cast member.
For a minute, I thought it was Chloe, but yeah, no,
Yeah.
it was Grimes.
Okay.
Who is also not a. I mean, no, I think she's a singer, so
She's a musician of some kind. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, her acting was a little choppy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and we find out that Luigi was sleeping with Princess Peach, Mario's wife, and he's like sexting her, and we see like a blurred out dick pic, and they're using the power up sound effect.
Yeah, that was
So
and
hey, for anyone who was wanting to think about what Luigi getting a hard on was like, you now have this sketch.
That's right. Your erotic fan fiction just got a whole lot easier to write.
And at the very end, we have Pete Davidson come in as Andrew Cuomo, and he's like, "Oh yeah, me and Wario, we're just two misunderstood Italian Americans." And
I mean, at least there was a
weird out of nowhere ending.
At least there was a twist in this. I'll give it that. But also, if you notice, like it seemed like towards the end, like Pete Davidson was supposed to come in, but it looked like he missed his cue. There was like a
He came in kind of late. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There was an awkward silence there.
there was like a really long pause, and then like when he went in, he was like there was like another pause. I guess he was waiting for his cue cards to come up. It was pretty rudimentary. It was pretty like, oh
I don't
boy.
know. Yeah.
So, yeah, but I mean, I will give it a little bit of credit for at least having something different happen in this sketch and having that little, you know,
I
anti-defamation.
mean, yeah, Luigi sexting and having a hard on. It's
Well,
that's something different.
well, yeah, that's, I mean, not good. Well, no, I mean, like by different, I meant like at the end where they have Andrew Cuomo
Yeah,
come in and it'd be like, oh, it's part of the Anti-Defamation League against Italians. At least that's something, but it was still, it was not enough to save this.
yeah,
This was, oh boy.
yeah.
Uh,
And
speaking of,
and speaking of oh boy,
yeah, Christ,
we had another pre-tape. This was Chad on Mars, bringing back nobody's favorite character, Pete Davidson's Chad.
I mean, he's literally the only recurring SNL character that the show has now. There really isn't. But I mean, this is what we got coming. Oh,
Our friend from the SNL stats, he posted, I guess, because he got word from the dress rehearsal show that yeah, Chad, there's going to be a Chad sketch, and I was like, please, I'm already dreading the show enough. And then he when the sketch came up, I was just like, I hate you.
just like Falcon told the Winter Soldier, "I hate you."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So Chad's on Mars. He's on a colony on Mars, but the solar storms cause damage to the colony. So somebody has to go out on a suicide mission to turn the life support on, and he has to drain out the CO2 and turn on the oxygen. And Elon Musk is in there playing himself, running the mission.
right. Also, Miley Cyrus is in this sketch as
Yeah. She's a technician who's having Chad's baby.
yeah. So that's a thing. Okay. Um,
And at the end, Chad just takes his helmet off and his head explodes. And Elon Musk says, "Well, I did say people were going to die. I was never here."
and then
And
he
he
leaves.
leaves.
Yep.
I mean, it's a Chad sketch. It sucks. I mean,
Yeah. It's shot nice. It looks pretty.
yeah.
But
I mean, the production values were good.
yeah, it just. I mean, again, what?
I don't understand why they keep bringing back this character.
Do people? I don't see too many. I don't see like a huge clamoring for Chad. Like it's not
Yeah.
just me. I'm not just being salty. I don't see people saying, "Oh, all right, a Chad sketch, rad." Like I don't see that. Like
Yeah.
people are just like, "Oh, a Chad sketch, all right." Like
Yeah.
it's. I mean, and again, like it's him just saying, "Okay," just being kind of going through life and
I mean, he's more or less indifferent to anything, so the sketches never really go anywhere.
yeah, and it seems like they've included this new thing where they kill him off at the end of sketches now because we last saw Chad
Yeah.
in the Adele episode where he died, and
Hmm.
this is another sketch where he dies at the end, like Kenny in South Park. So like I'm wondering, oh, is this a new thing now? We just kill him off at the end of every sketch.
I
Uh,
don't know, man.
I this, I, dude, I was
I just know whenever they bring up a Chad sketch, I'm like, oh, fucking really?
like I was struggling. This was
Yeah.
like
This was
I was trying to find some gold in this. I was mining for it, and I just
yeah.
I just came up empty.
You got some fool's gold there.
Yeah, fool's gold, boy.
Uh,
And we reached the end, mercifully, of this show
yeah.
with a cowboy standoff.
Cowboy Standoff. It's a Western sketch. Kyle Mooney, he's a guy named Earl. He's just been shot by the Pearl River Gang, and everybody else is like, they're like, let's get together and form a posse and go after them. And Elon Musk is playing a guy who says, well, what if we instead tunnel into the earth to come up underneath them?
Yeah, because he's a weird genius cowboy who has an electric horse, and then they cut to a horse being plugged into a Tesla
Yeah.
outlet. And
Yeah.
get it? Because this is what Elon Musk is really like. So let's.
Yeah, so he's playing a cowboy who has all these Elon Musk type ideas, and I don't know. This was a weird sketch. Didn't really work.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's one point that kind of bugged me where they even make a joke talking about how Elon Musk is he's always been like, or the cowboy version of whoever he is. They're saying like,
yeah.
oh well, he's always been a wild card. Remember how he didn't like going into the bank robbery wearing a mask because he didn't like wearing masks.
Uh huh.
And then and the cowboy Elon says, I wasn't crazy about wearing masks, but now I thought they were okay. Which of course is a nod to his COVID-19 comments last year, him saying how the whole thing was a hoax and he wouldn't wear masks. So like they put in a joke about him being like a anti or a COVID denier last year in this
Yeah.
sketch, and that just left a not great taste in my mouth. That was like, oh,
Yeah. Yeah. It's not a great thing to just make into a joke. Like, oh, ha 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 ha
haha.
ha.
Uh,
You know.
it ends, but the sketch ends with Cecily singing, so that's nice.
Yeah, I did like where like Cecily's playing like this showgirl, like type lady, lady of the evening, I guess you would say.
Ooh,
And she's like, "Hey, why don't you come upstairs with me, Elon Musk's character?" And he says, "Well, while I am flattered, the overwhelming odds are that you have syphilis, which means that you are good at your job, which is a prostitute." Um, and she takes that as a compliment.
it's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah, and but yeah, this sketch was. I was like, oh, boof.
yeah.
This is. God damn it. I
Weak one to end it with. I mean, it was a very weak show overall.
Yeah, like I mean, usually I try to find like some gold at the end in the end of this rainbow, or I try to be as positive as I can and
Hmm.
try to be as objective as I can with all these
Yeah,
episodes. But yeah, this episode was not good. Like I can't imagine anybody saying this episode was good in any capacity because it was objectively not a good episode. The writing wasn't there. I remember seeing somebody on Twitter is saying like, oh, the writing staff will probably just hand in rejected sketch and really just kind of phone it in. And god damn it, that's exactly what they did. That's what it felt like what they did in this episode. Like everything felt phoned in. Like I mean, I can't say that it was all Elon's fault and why
yeah.
this episode was bad, just because the writing really wasn't there either.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he's got to be a tough guy to write for because
Yeah.
he's not a performer. He's not. But yeah, it was not a good show. We weren't expecting it to be a good show, and it was not. It was a very very bad show.
It met
It
all
was
of our low expectations.
it was no good, very bad, horrible. It was yeah. I got to go full Zoidberg on this one. That was
Yeah.
bad, and you should feel bad.
I mean, as far as I really didn't like any. I mean, if I had to pick a favorite sketch of the night,
Yeah.
maybe the Murder Dirter. I got a few chuckles out of that.
I
Um,
thought Murder Dirter and the conversations, the post-COVID conversations, were both all right. I,
yeah,
I thought those were both okay,
yeah,
and I think in another show they would have been fine.
yeah. I could see
And
that.
um,
Uh,
nothing else.
uh,
There was nothing else I liked,
the
man.
cold open was sweet. I thought that was
Yeah,
sweet.
I mean it's nice to see everybody's mothers and all that.
Yeah. I still like Ego Nwodum's desk piece, but yeah. Other than that, everything else was just do.
Yeah.
It just I'm sorry. I got to call. We got to call it like we see it, people. We don't. You didn't.
No, I mean we got to be honest, and
That's right.
yeah.
You didn't come here for the sugar coated, what you want to hear. You're here for the truth. We give you the real. We're not here to make friends.
No, no. So
But yeah,
yeah,
this was. I mean, it just felt. Just like I said, like it just felt like this whole show was kind of made to make Elon Musk look good or more relatable, and to sort
yeah.
of pitch his Doja Coin things. It felt. I don't know, it felt kind of dirty in a way.
Just yeah, swinging a mess, man.
Yeah, that's it. Just boof. So that's our take on it. And yeah, we put out on Twitter as we always do. Like, what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah.
I put up the Maron GIF about it,
Yes.
and yeah, we got some tweets about it. So our good friend Mike E, just sent us a
Mm-hmm.
tweet saying, "Wow, this was a rough one. Can't remember the last time we had a host in every sketch, including the pre-tapes, the cold open, and weekend update. I've literally just finished the episode and can't remember anything apart from seeing Gritty from the Philly from the Flyers,
Uh-huh.
which I guess isn't a good thing. And yeah, this was a very forgettable episode.
Yeah,
Our
yeah.
good friend Ruby the Rube says, "I didn't watch, but judging from everyone's reactions, I didn't miss much. If the Keegan Michael Key episode turns out to be really good, there's going to be some real embarrassment in having a Mad TV cast member come right the ship."
Um, I guess I don't really think of Keegan Michael Key as a Mad TV cast member anymore
I'm
because that show hasn't been a thing in a very long time. If anything, I consider him a Key and Peele guy.
That's true,
So
but I mean, Mad TV is really kind of where he got his start, his feet wet.
yeah,
I but I
I mean,
agree.
Key and Peele is where he made his name.
I'll agree with that. Yeah, he really did blow up after Key and Peele. Oh, yeah, you know what? I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Don Fardo says, I will admit Elon did better in the previous recorded segments, probably because he had the benefit of multiple takes, and also because he portrayed himself in one of them, yes. He also says, better than the Trump episode, but not by much. Glad Elon didn't really take himself too seriously. With any luck, it'll be forgotten in a couple years, I'm sure. Looking forward to Keying it, Michael Key. And then he hashtags Aaron. So,
okay. Yeah, Ron, where are you? Uh,
yeah.
who else do we have? Oh, John Ananias.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll be catching up with this one on Hulu. So, a general question: should the role of SNL host be limited to performers? Over the years, we've had some surprisingly fun episodes hosted by politicians or athletes, but is the show all around better off sticking with entertainers? And he put an asterisk next to politicians, saying, surprisingly fun episodes hosted by politicians do not include a certain 90-minute incident in November 2015. We will not speak of that.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts? Is it just can only entertainers host, or what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I prefer it to primarily be entertainers, like, actors and musicians and all that, because I think they do the best. I don't mind the occasional sports star hosting, and they occasionally do a surprisingly good job. Like, I mean, that Joe Montana sketch, I'm very glad to meet them. Oh, don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I'll be upstairs masturbating. Um, that's one of my all-time favorite SNL sketches.
Right. No, it's a fantastic one.
Yeah, and like I mean, Michael Jordan did a pretty good job, as I recall.
Right. I mean, as far as sports peoples go, I think we discussed this on our sports episode. Go back
Mhm.
in the archives and listen to it. Um, as far as sports people go, it is touch and go. Sometimes it can be really good. Sometimes they can be not so great. I think we all agree wrestlers usually make the best sports themed hosts because like they're wrestlers are it's pretty much half sports, half entertainment anyway. So they're used.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, The Rock, wonderful
Yeah,
host.
John Cena, he was solid.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, those guys have some solid acting chops,
Yeah. I mean,
and they've actually carved out a nice career for
yeah,
themselves.
dude's gonna be Peacemaker now.
Exactly, exactly. I'm really looking forward to seeing John Cena in the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah, he's like a
With
genuinely funny dude. Like he can
Yeah,
do it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, those guys can both nail a joke, and they both have a ton of charisma.
Yeah, I'd
Um,
like to see Dave Bautista do it if they ever asked him to do
sure.
it.
Yeah, he would be a great host. I'm sure. Yeah, he
Yeah,
would. It would be wonderful to see. He's a very funny guy. Obviously, Drax is hilarious.
yeah,
Um, I'm not too nuts about seeing politicians host in general,
yeah,
because one, because it's tough for it not to come off as like some sort of endorsement,
yeah.
and also just because they're stiff and awkward and generally not entertaining.
Yeah, I would say so. Usually, when like a non-entertainer, like a politician, has to host something like that, it's usually up to the rest of the cast members to kind of like lift them up and support
To
them.
carry him through the show. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, as far as non-entertainers hosting goes, like I don't think it's like a hard and fast rule that it just has to be entertainers hosting. I mean, I think it's okay if you're not an entertainer and you host, but like then the only thing is then you kind of have to make it up for your lack of entertaining knowledge with something else, like maybe be have I don't know comedic timing, or be charismatic, or be a little more outgoing. You have to have that certain something where you're able to carry a sketch, and you don't sound as stiff and awkward and robotic as Zuckerberg and Elon Musk did on this episode.
Yeah, yeah,
I think, yeah, I mean, I would say that, or sometimes even if you are stiff and robotic, then you, sometimes what works is when the writers know that, and then they write like a sketch are based on that, or are able to write to that. Because like the Joe Montana sketch, where it's just him saying, "I'm very happy to meet them. I'll be upstairs masturbating." They're kind of
right.
writing to his style of speak, and kind of knowing he's not a normal or natural performer, so they're kind of writing around his strengths, or just to his like maybe stilted type of speech and whatnot.
Yeah,
So I mean, I'm not totally against non entertainers hosting, but all I ask is that you're just a little engaging and entertaining in some other way, to
yeah,
just so the whole cast isn't really doing all the heavy lifting, and you're able to carry the show and whatnot.
yeah,
And that's my TED talk. Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
Right, because like I also did feel like, because his energy was so off, the rest of the cast was kind of off with their energy too.
hmm,
Like his energy, his awkward energy, kind of affected everybody else around him. And I also somebody also pointed out on Twitter, AD Bryant was in the cold open, not really in the rest of the show, and the
yeah,
cold
yeah.
open was the only
I
part.
think I only saw Andrew Dismukes in the Conversations pre-tape too.
Yeah,
Like we didn't even see him with his mother, and I don't know if that's just because maybe his mother wasn't available or is no longer with us, or what, or if he had
right.
some sort of moral objection.
Right, but I don't know. I think it was weird because like 80 was in the cold open, and the cold open was the one thing that Elon wasn't in. So part of me
Hmm.
is like, interesting. I wonder if that's like a
Yeah, I mean, when stuff like that happens, it's tough to know if that was by design, if that was intentional, or if that's just how it happened that week. Like maybe she had lots of other stuff that just all happened to get cut. We don't know.
that is true. Oh, also a side note, um, 80's final season of her show Shrill just came out recently as well, so you can watch
Yeah,
that too,
yeah.
guys.
She had her mom give a little plug in that.
Yeah, that
So
was nice. I was like, oh, always be closing.
yep.
Uh, but yeah, did we have any other tweets about
I think that might have been about it. Yeah.
Oh, wait, actually, no. Murati said Miley Cyrus needs to ditch her music label. They chose the weakest song for the first song, and the second one had a bad sound mixing, which I didn't really notice, but I'm not a sound guy.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they
yeah,
were bad.
yeah. This, I mean, there's no way around it, guys. This was just not good. I mean, even I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there are people who are like Elon Musk stands who are like, "Oh, he was amazing. He's fantastic," but like
I mean,
you're lying to
I've
yourself.
seen some people say like, "Oh, yeah, this was all right. This exceeded my expectations," and I'm just like, "Really,
Like,
really?"
where were your expectations?
I don't know. It's
I
just,
don't know. Some people just, I don't
I
know.
mean, yeah, when somebody's a non-performer, you do have to kind of grade it on a curve, but it's just,
I can't even grade this on a curve. I just have to grade it on like a straight flat line, like a.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, guys. Then I don't know. I guess that's our episode. I'm sorry to end it on such
But
a.
I mean, come on. Next week,
Next week.
Keegan Michael Key, people.
Now you're talking.
Keegan, I mean, he is somebody who is ferociously talented, a great sketch performer, great writer. Um, I mean, he's somebody who easily could have been a cast member at one point. I mean, I'm kind of glad he wasn't a cast member because he got to do his own thing with Mad TV and Key and Peele. But really looking forward to seeing what he does and how he meshes
Yeah.
with the cast.
Yeah. I wonder if he ever auditioned for SNL.
You would think he would have at some point. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to this episode. I mean, this is, as like I said, a man who has a background in sketch comedy and improv.
yeah,
So just just by that alone, this is going to be leaps and bounds better than this episode. I'm really looking forward to it. Like he's always super charming. He's really quick on his feet, and
Yeah.
I think he's going to mesh really well with this cast. And I mean, I'm sure he's there to help promote the show. He has Schmigadoon with Cecily Strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be great. Olivia Rodrigo, who's a musical guest. I don't know much about her. I just know she did that song "Driver's License" that they did a sketch around a few episodes back. So we'll see how that plays. But either way, this is going to be good. We're going to end on a high.
It feels like it's going to be our reward for getting through this episode.
We're getting this rainbow after walking through the rain.
Exactly.
That's
exactly.
Right. There's got to be a morning after.
So
this, yeah. So that's our episode, guys. Yeah, and as always, you can follow us on Twitter at SNL Nerds Show. Please like and review and rate and subscribe and all that jazz. Leave a review, a good review. We haven't had one in a minute that we want to read on the air.
Yeah. We I mean, those really do help, and they help boost our profile. If you also want to go on the Non-Productive website and donate to the Patreon, that would be really helpful, because that does help us out quite a bit.
Darn tootin'.
Yep.
And as always, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Darren Credible. That's DARIN Credible.
And you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Trumbull Comic. That's TRUMBULL and the word comic.
Right. And yeah, that's our episode. We did it. It's over. Let's just bury this in a box and never speak of it again. Toss it in the ocean. Let's wipe this from our memories, like the Men in Black flashy stick thingy. And let's just move on to bigger and better, greener pastures. Keegan Michael Key next week. Hot damn.
Keegan Michael Key.
Yes. Yas, Queen. We stand. Yas.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. That's a great thing about SNL is, if you have a bad show, you can always bounce back the next week. And we are fully expecting and hoping that to happen next week. So, you got the kinks out this week, and next week I think they're going to be bringing their A game.
The sun will come out tomorrow, people. The sun will come out tomorrow.
So we will see you next week, but until then, nerds out!
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.